Wow, has the support on the first episode of my new Chasing Adaptation series been awesome. The breath hold community on YouTube is giving me like the best views on my video that I've had in months of the channel. Now, ironically enough, like 2 days after I posted that first episode, the GoPro channel on YouTube posted this like 2-minute awesome video of someone free diving underneath a lake. And all I could think about was, wow, what if I train and can experience like a fraction of that experience? Like being able to do that is something that so few humans will ever be able to enjoy. And it looks so beautiful and so cool and so athletically like awesome. What if I can just get a taste of that? What if just from a little bit of this training, I can just get that much closer to that kind of experiential thing? And so I want to say, check out the video with that, see if it inspires you as much as it's inspired me, and then maybe stay tuned and keep checking out my progression through this short series, and let's see if I can get that 5-minute breath hold already. All right, now let's go ahead and take a look at this week 1 of training that I just finished. Now I want to pause here really quick to make one little concession about my training plan. I initially set it up with dry and wet days, where dry days I would be doing the breath holds lying flat on my back on the couch, and on wet days I would be seated with the front of my face submerged in water at a table. And I found that while seated, my resting heart rate was elevated enough that it kind of ruined the bump in performance I was supposed to get from the facial submersion. So I am switching it to entirely dry static apnea sessions. Moving on to my physiological status numbers, there's nothing really too major to note here or any changes, but I definitely am glad that I'm keeping track of this over time. A really cool parameter to look at from this first week is how long I spent practicing each and every day. Days 1 and 2 had 2 rounds, and that is why they are significantly longer. But when looking at the total week 1 time invested, it's really not that bad when you think about what kind of progress I'll be making. All right, so there's a few things that just jump out to me about week 1 of this. One is we're just focusing on the carbon dioxide tables. So there's no oxygen table training. This means that all we're doing is focusing on building up the tolerance to the buildup of carbon dioxide within my lungs. Secondly, what I want to talk about is in the past, when I initially trained for that 3-minute hold, I was doing carbon dioxide tables pretty much every day for much shorter amounts of time. So my training sessions were maybe 20 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Whereas this structure is only 4 days per week, but on those days where I'm doing 2 full rounds of the table, I'm doing over 30 minutes straight of breath holds. The total time inclusion for this week came out to just under 2 hours, which maybe sounds like a lot, but when it's spread out over the course of the week, it's really not that much time investment for a potentially really exciting and cool adaptation. I didn't really struggle with any of the individual days of training itself, and I'm sure that as the weeks go on, I'll be challenged more and more in the actual training protocol. So stay tuned for episode 3 of this series coming out next week, where I will be doing my 2nd week of training focused on those carbon dioxide tables. Look forward to seeing you then.